What's good, guys? It's your boy CS back with another one. In today's video, we are just basically going to run through all the charts and see what the score is. It is Sunday morning where I'm at. So this candle close, this daily candle close, this weekly candle close will approximately close in around 13 hours time. So let's just jump straight into it. And I want to focus on the tether dominance chart because we're getting a lot of signals here, and we'll just recap on where we're at, right? So in a monthly time frame or 3 monthly time frame, if you see this light blue or turquoise trend line, so this one and this one, you will notice that this is kind of like a big rising wedge where we basically come in, out, in, and then we've actually looped back out of it, which is not good. It's not good on this kind of time frame, right? Now, if we zoom in onto the weekly, if you focus on the white trend lines, and a lot of my guys have been posting a lot about this in the VIP chat, so stay with me on this. This is a rising channel, and as long as we conform to the rising channel, we just bounce off each line like this, right? Bounce, 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 and then come back down. And that's all we've been doing. We've been doing this for a very long time. When I say a very long time, since December 2024. So it's approximately been 4 months going on 5, nearly, well, we're past the halfway mark in April. So yeah, basically going into May. And we're at basically a crossroads, which is, last week was a really negative week because we came back into the rising channel. And this week, it looks like we're back in the rising channel. But if I go into the daily, actually, the past 1 to 3 days, we've been outside of this rising channel, the white trend line. And today is the day that we need to see, will the bears push the price back in? And honestly, it's been so frustrating trying to buy in this kind of market. It is very much a trader's market, but you don't have that essence where you can just leave a trade. It's like you're constantly having to look at the charts and seeing where are we going. We're just chopping. Literally, we're just chopping, and then we have a leg down. So the bears have been winning, but also it's been a lot of sideways movement, which is, again, I've always confessed, not very good at as a sideways trader. I don't really like sideways markets, the chart, just not for me. But you have to adapt. And again, I'm adapting in the sense of I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket just yet, because until I know what happens today, or well, tomorrow when I wake up and see how this candle closes on the daily and the weekly, that will give me some clues. Now, if we go into the lower time frame, and what I was telling most of our guys is this is a bearish flag pattern. So if you think about it, we've come all the way down, and then we've got this zigzag zig, and then really what should be happening is with a flag, we should break out of it and come back down. Now, what could happen is we may come up, and this will be really brutally painful, which is we close today inside here and we bounce off there next week, and then we come back down, and then we just do the same thing. And that would be really brutal because there is no confirmation just yet that we're in a leg. And look, I bought the bottom without sounding cocky. I've bought the bottom on the basis that we're getting relief. And if it turns out to be a full-on reversal, great, fantastic. I'm really happy with that. But at the same time, I'm conscious that there's no confirmation until we close outside of this white trend line down here. So anything today below 5.56%. If we close below 5.56%, buzzing. That is the confirmation we needed on the weekly and the daily time frame, that we've closed below the rising channel. And just to give you a bit of a similar indicator, by combining both charts, the tether dominance and the USDC coin, so tether and USDC, that makes its own tether and USDC dominance chart, very similar to just the tether dominance chart. It's basically flashing the same stuff, which is bounced off, well, nearly here, this flag. I'm going to move it up then so it conforms, right? So bounced off here, we're in this flag pattern, and we just need to stay below this white trend line. Very, very same thing. Like, it's not that difficult. We just need to see if we can close below the white trend line. That's all we need to see. As far as Bitcoin goes, let's go on spider line. I've not seen spider line in about a hot minute. So on the monthly, doing okay. We're finding support at this turquoise trend line. On the daily, yeah, still finding it. We're in this kind of like little wedge between the green and the blue. Not too many signals on the spider line apart from that. It looks like we'll stay above by today. I don't think we'll come back and hit 80 by today. Could be totally wrong, but don't think we will. This historic trend line has now been hit. That dates back to the 5th of October 2022. So as you can see, this was the original trend line. We've been bouncing off as resistance, came out of it, started testing out as support, came back out, came back in around here, and then we found some good support, bounced off it, came back down, and then you could technically say that's like the wick down. That was the end point. Okay, on the more pertinent charts, is it looks, and again, don't want to jinx it, but we've had last week as a confirmation that closed above 82.4k. That was so key for us to get back this level, and we have got it. And I doubt we're going to close below again. We've got 13 hours. We don't know what can happen. But really what we wanted was a test to claim this 85,415 region. That's what we really wanted. In terms of the wedge, the falling wedge pattern, don't know what can happen here. Again, I don't know what can happen. Ideally, we wanted to close here at 85.4 on the weekly. That would have given us our first close. Yesterday on the daily, we technically did get one close on it. And now this is coming back down to tell us, hey, nope, not to hold your horses. You're not going that fast. You're not going to break out of this that quickly. And again, the worst case scenario is that this is another leg down. And again, I'm not trying to be bearish here, but we've just got to take what we've got and say, look, this could come all the way down to 72k, 73k. Like, that's a possibility because the tether dominance is also showing it. And again, we're a long way away from there, but these moves happen really quickly, right? So like, look, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 days, 5, 6 days to get to the edge of the wedge pattern. Here again, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Very, very quickly how it moves. Takes from the top of the wedge pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Could take 6 days for it to just come down here. So don't rule that out. Remember, as a trader, you have to be open to the possibilities of shorting the market and buying the market. So don't always have, obviously my long-term thesis has always been bullish. I've never changed or swapped away from that. I never shied away from it. But also, you have to change your mentality and say, well, look, we're conforming to this wedge pattern here. We just can't get out of it. Bears have got control here at the moment. Let's see what happens, right? Okay, point of control region. Just going to delete this stuff. Point of control region, we're holding this 84,146 level quite well here, actually. And actually, we've been getting a nuke all day. So, like, I'm doing this video actually at a very good time because look how many 1 hour candles have we just come on, we flunked off. So, like, last 1 hour, we held really well. This one looks pretty good so far. And this is a point of control region, right? This is where you would long at these regions. So it's holding pretty well. If we go on the 4 hour, there's a cluster here. So I don't expect us to break this on the first go. Clusters usually take 2 to 3 candles. So when I say a cluster, this 200 blue EMA and the orange 50 EMA, it usually takes 1 or 2 more candles to actually break through it. Clusters are, you never get through clusters in the first go, in my opinion. Only on rare occasions do you break through like that on EMA ribbons. That's why they're so powerful. And that's why I don't expect us to close below this on this first go. Could be wrong, but just in my experience. Okay, yesterday was really good because we got the close above the 200 EMA ribbon, right? This blue ribbon. Only once previously did we do this, on Saturday the 12th of April. So basically 8 days ago. And then the following day on the Sunday, we got rejected. And weirdly enough, yesterday, we're basically mimicking last week. We got a close above the 200, but now we're getting rejected again. And the thing is, this is the thing about clusters. See what I'm going on about? So we just looked at a 4 hour. So rewind this video like a minute or 2 minutes back, and you'll see what the 4 hour looked like with the orange and the blue line. Now we're on the daily, and look how many times we've been rejected off this cluster, this orange and this blue line, right? And that's why EMA ribbons are far superior, in my opinion, over any other ribbons. So basically, you know, the DMA, the SMA, and all the other fucking MAs, right? All these other moving averages. The exponential, for me, just works like a charm. So what we could see here is we could see us going to the 20 and see how we test there. Or this could be a nice reversal where this is just a big dip on a Sunday, which we're all praying for as bulls, and we finally get the close above the 50 EMA. That would be the perfect scenario. That would be the perfect scenario. Right now, I don't think a lot of us know for sure how this is going to close, because we've been burned too many times on this channel, this white channel, this rising channel, right? And so I'll just go on this one. It looks more smoother. This channel is held together, right? And for those who are new to my channel, the USDT chart is inversely correlated to Bitcoin. So I'll say it again. If Bitcoin goes up, this chart will go down. If this chart goes up, Bitcoin will go down. Hence why we don't want this to go up as a bull, because Bitcoin will go down, right? Okay, I'll focus a bit on the dominance, the Bitcoin dominance chart, just because of why I was saying there's going to be some relief for alts. So as you may or may not know, we've held this rising channel since 2022. And we've basically been in this rising channel. Now, the rising channel is coming to its top, which is here, right? And that's why I think we are going to start seeing some relief now, and a bit of alts making a bit more of a move, because every time we've got this hit on the channel, we've always come down. We've always come down, right? We've always come down. There again, there again, there again. We've always like retraced a bit, and alts have got a bit of a pump or some type of relief. And that's why I do think that is on the cards. However, just like B, I've had to revise my price target in the sense of, well, is that the end? Is this full on alt season? It could be. It could be. And this is where I've held. It could be. However, when alt season hit last time, I revised my price target where this white line was the start of alt season in July 2017. This white line is December 2020 at the start of alt season. And the white line, if you follow it, it takes us to here basically, which is 65.62, right? So it takes us here to 65.62. So I think we could potentially get a bit of relief and then come back up, and then that's when the true alt season starts. That would be my final. Like, if there's gonna be an alt season, it has to be then. Like, that's the final wave. I'm praying that it's happening now, obviously. because we're at the top of this rising channel. I pray it happens now, and look, it's come to fill the wick, so it could happen. It could happen now. Again, at the top of the rising channel is when I will be going ham on alts. I will be getting in every fucking alt that I could, or going near close to getting big into alts, because again, it's respecting the levels. So you want to be getting in alts. You don't want to be getting in Bitcoin. As you've been seeing, a lot of the alts, whether it be Fartcoin, Pop, Brett, all the ones we've been talking about, they've been getting laced up, right? Compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing what, a 5 to 6 to 7% move. Fartcoin does that in an hour. Brett does that in an hour. Popcat does that in an hour. On the daily, we're getting like 40% returns. Sorry, in the week, we're getting 40% returns. So compared to a 5% move on Bitcoin, you're getting a 40% move altogether on Brett, Popcat. Fartcoin's done way more than that. But you get my point, right? The risk to reward is in altcoins here. This is where you want to be buying altcoins, at the top of this rising channel. Okay? Okay, cool. And just focusing a bit on alts. So a lot of you guys have got into the Popcat long, so salute to you guys who got that. As you will see, there's a lot going on here, right, with Popcat. And Popcat can move quick, man. Popcat can move quick, because once it gets past this bit, right, like if you've not put a stop loss to 2335 and you're just letting it run, fair play to you, right? It may come down to 2150, but if you've got enough in the tank where you can hold it, then great. But really, once Popcat gets past 2933, right, it is plain sailing up to 584. Well, there's maybe like some resistance here, right? At 4425, 3934, right? So this region you could take profit on, but really I think it's plain sailing up to like 6850, right? And if we do get the move, which, you know, Popcat is a prime move of a coin at the end of the day, this can sail way, 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 way higher, right? I think it'll go back to 1 billion. It's only cat on like Robinhood and all the other big exchanges. We've not had a cat coin in the sense of like Doge. We've had Shiba, we've had Floki, the trifecta. We've not had a cat coin, and cats are very popular whether you like it or not. And for the retail normie, it's just easy to buy Popcat. It just really is so easy to buy Popcat, to be honest with you. So that's why, again, I'm not going to run through Popcat as I've run through it so many times in the past. But whoever got into the Fartcoin long, like literally the bottom where I bought it here at 716, it was like literally on the money, on the actual money, 716.90, I think you got it on. Literally the peak bottom. You're chilling, you take initials out. Just hold the Fartcoin long. Now, Fartcoin can move really quick to the downside, right? So I'm not saying that it could come back down to 62851, but the upside potential is massive. Like when it blows, it just runs. It just runs and runs and just runs like a rocket. Brett, similar thing. When it runs, it lags behind Popcat and Fartcoin. Like yesterday, Fartcoin and Popcat, or the day before, were in red. And as you can see now, Brett is lagging. It's now minus 7% today. So it's having its red day that Fartcoin and Popcat already had, right? So with Brett, what we're looking at on the levels, as in like horizontal wise, is try to get past this horizontal resistance. It's failed so far, but it's getting a nice close above this 3328 region. So next week, if it came back to 3034, that would definitely be a buy situation. If it went to 3564 and it just can't clip above it, right, you could take a short. So that's definitely on the cards as well. And look, there's so many different alts I could go through. I might just make a separate video altogether. But one thing I also wanted to talk about was this descending channel that the Nikki broke out of, right? And also here, this orange trend line, which it respected. But this white trend line here, as you'll see, it was respecting it really well. If we go into the channel, right, just bouncing. So bounce, 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 bounce. And then we fell out of it, tried to come back in, got rejected the next day. And then we came back in it on Friday, which is really positive for the Nikkei. Because if we come back here, this is really good news that we can actually see the Nikkei bounce back up to here at like 36. And that'll do a world of good for Bitcoin and alts and stuff like that. The bad news is the SPX is really lagging on its identical channel. So that rising channel will be like somewhere over here, but it's been rejected and it's not come back into this white channel here. I've not drawn it. I think I've deleted it, but it would have been like something like there, right? But it's come out of it and we need to get back into it. At the end of the day, the stock markets, the indices can move really quickly. All it just needs is a bullish sentiment, a bullish headline such as, I forgot his name now, my mind's gone blank, Xi Jinping, whatever he's called, and Trump basically agree a tariff deal, blah, blah, blah. And then the stock market will go ballistic as usual. It's just very much priced in. Now, the only negative, I would say, if you were a bear, and again, I look at things all together holistically, right? If you were a bear, you're absolutely buzzing, because if we inverse this chart, you're basically saying we're in a trend. We bounced off the daily 20 EMA here, back tested it, went all the way up, came back down, back testing again, and we've gone back up. And we're just following the trend up. Trend up meaning, obviously, because it's inverted, this is super bearish. So for them, for bears, they're just like, well, we're in a trend. We reversed the trend. This is the start of the trend. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So again, just have your blinkers on. Don't think it's going to be, all that easy, because it never is easy to make money in markets. You have to be thinking about what the worst case scenario is if you're a bull, and you've got to think about what the worst case scenario is if you're a bear. Don't get complacent. Don't ever get complacent on taking a trade and thinking you know it all. Yes, you might win the trade, and you might be in full green, and you might be in mega profits, right? But never ever get complacent. Never ever get complacent, because things can switch very, very quickly, like very quickly. And that's not where I want you guys to be. I'm still waiting for a big move from this SPX, I'll be honest with you. I really think this has got something in the tank where it's just ready to blow like it did last time. People forget this thing can move like Fartcoin. Like, it just took a couple of days from November to, well, really January, basically a full month, and it went from like 400 million market cap to basically 2 billion, right? So it's basically a 5x? Yeah, 5x. So this thing can really rip, and I don't think we should get it twisted that it's got the minerals to do that. And a lot of people don't know, like, SPX isn't listed on major exchanges, on Binance. Well, I think it is on Binance maybe, but it's not on like Coinbase or anything like that. And so just like Fartcoin, it's got a long way to go. It's not listed on these major exchanges. And with Murad's fucking influence, I mean, this guy can move coins very, very quickly when he wants to. And so don't be put off just because I don't personally like the guy, but I'm here to make money at the end of the day. And so should you. You shouldn't have a bias just because you don't like someone or like something. You're here to make money. Even if it's with Brett, even if you're got spot bags in Brett, but you know the weekly resistance levels, there is nothing wrong with shorting a coin. You're here to make money. And there's a lot of guys in our group that short as well. And that's perfectly good. That's perfectly healthy, because you might make some very fast gains on the downside, right? I best believe, like, when I took the Fartcoin 100x out, over here, I think I took it out at like 2 billion on the dot. Imagine I like shorted there, I would have got wasted. But imagine if I waited and like waited for the full blow off top and then got in somewhere around here and shorted it and just left it. I would have been laughing. So don't ever get it twisted that shorting is bad. It's good. It is good. You can make money on both sides, and that's what we're here to do. We're not here to get married to everything. We're here to make money. That's the main conclusion you should be getting from this video. Make money. And again, if this switches coming back now full circle and I don't like it, this is just powering through, really powering through the tether dominance back to this white trend line. That is mega bearish. That is mega bearish. And it just means that we could just confine ourselves to getting back in here, and yeah, unfortunately going all the way up to like 9%, or in the tether dominance we could go all the way up to like 6.59, 7%. Like, that is definitely on the cards. Don't get it twisted that it's not on the cards. It definitely could be on the cards, right? But overall, Bitcoin in good stead. Let's just see how this daily candle closes, this weekly candle closes. Remember, there's a CME gap that's going to be forming if this closes really low, because this closed, I believe, at 85,420, right? So this closed at 85.4K. So there is going to be a massive gap depending on where Bitcoin goes by tonight. All right, guys, that's a whistle-stop tour. Make sure you're positioned in accordingly depending how this candlestick closes on the daily and weekly. If you're not in the VIP chat, message me personally. You can jump in for a fee, of course, and you will be privy to basically a librarian of different resources from trading, and know what to do with altcoins and what we're looking at and the different setups on how I've been giving signals, and basically they've been banging left, right, and center. All right, guys, catch you in the next one.